The Nintendo Switch eShop sale is packed with must-have games, and today I'm breaking down 15 of the best deals across the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Plus stick around for a new giveaway and shoutouts for last week's winners. Let's dive in. Monster Hunter Stories is now 17% off, marking a new low price. I've only recently played it and really enjoyed it. Unlike the typical Monster Hunter game, this one shifts focus from hunting monsters to raising them. Now, as a monster rider, you'll bond with your monsters and take on a turn-based RPG adventure. The story, it has you navigating the tension between monster riders and hunters, with a looming threat known as the Black Blight threatening the world. This remastered version is fully voiced in Japanese and English, and it includes new features like a museum mode, extra monsters and expanded endgame content. And if you haven't played the sequel yet as well, there's also a bundle on sale which includes this version and the deluxe edition of the sequel at a new low price of 36% off. Penny's Big Breakaway is now 34% off, a new low price. I really enjoyed this. The story follows Penny, a street performer with big dreams who gets tangled up in an audition she'll never forget. Basically, there's a strange encounter with a cosmic string, and your yo-yo, it turns into a living creature with a big appetite for mayhem. Now we must outrun the Emperor's penguin army and clear our name. Really is this disastrous situation. The gameplay though, it's a 3D platformer, and you'll use a variety of tricks to chain combos and escape danger. And the fast-paced action here features power-ups, different modes, think story mode, time attack mode, and yeah, I just had great fun with it. Now there are a few issues, I'll admit that. The visuals lose some impact and the frame rate, it's not always feeling solid, but it's still a fun platformer for genre fans out there. Alright, just quickly here then, if you are enjoying this video, do us a favour, subscribe. It's the easiest way to support the channel, it helps us out a huge amount. Also then, we've got two $10 eShop gift cards to give away. To enter, it's simple, all you need to do is drop a comment down below, and the winners, they'll be announced in next Saturday's video. Then of course, this week we do have two winners to announce from last week's video. That's coming up here shortly, so do stick around for that. Octopath Traveler is now 50% off, matching its lowest price. This is a bit of a modern classic and one of my favourite RPGs on the system. I love the ability to switch characters and shape the journey as we please. In the game, it features 8 travelers, each with their own story and abilities, and you'll actually explore their individual adventures and then use their skills in and out of battle. These abilities and the decisions you do make, they influence the world around you, and I love the turn-based combat system. Then though, we also have Octopath Traveler 2, that's on sale for 40% off, also matching its lowest price. And I think this sequel offers more the same great gameplay, though it didn't quite get as much love, which in my opinion is a shame. But in this new entry, 8 fresh travelers set out on a new adventure. What elevates the experience for me is the leveled up HD 2D style from the original, and then the systems, think jobs and skills, they're more evolved here. It's well worth playing both of these if you do appreciate a good RPG. Infinity Strash Dragon Quest The Adventure of Dai is now 40% off, matching its lowest price. This game was widely criticised at launch, but I'm putting it out there, I enjoyed it. I had no experience with the anime it's based upon, and I think it did a decent job of presenting that world. Now the core gameplay is an arena brawler with levelling up, which I think caught many off guard as they expected something more in-depth. It was basically slammed by most reviewers, but my take was a bit more positive, and you can find that in the comments below. If you do go into this knowing what to expect, I personally think you can have fun. A big pain point for many, it seems, was that it doesn't really add much to the world, and it only covers about half of the story. Now sadly, I'll be surprised if we do get a sequel to wrap it up. But yeah, look, with this one, make sure you watch multiple reviews first before diving in, as I am definitely an outlier with this one. The JOTA Collection is now 67% off, marking a new low price. If you're into indie games, this bundle is for you. It includes 2 fantastic titles, In Other Waters, which I reviewed on the channel, link in the pinned comment, and then Citizen Sleeper, a masterpiece that I'll be covering in an upcoming video, though I do suspect that one might not get much traction, but it deserves love. Now in Other Waters, you play as an AI guiding a xenobiologist through a beautiful and mysterious alien ocean. It's a non-violent sci-fi story asking you to unravel the planet's history and find a friend with this very unique visual style. It's, I don't know, colourful dots for lack of a better description. Then though, Citizen Sleeper puts you in the shoes of an escaped worker living on a lawless space station, navigating interplanetary capitalism. It's It's inspired by tabletop RPGs. You'll basically explore the station, form friendships, and shape your future. This game is a masterpiece in my opinion, and I featured it in an essential Switch Games video just recently. I'll link that down below. My pickup of the week then, meaning this isn't a recommendation, but maybe you'll want to join me for the ride, and that game is F1 Manager 2024 Deluxe Edition, and at this point you already know if this is for you. Basically, if you like the idea of managing an F1 team, yeah, jump here. I love the 2023 entry, and this edition promises to expand on the management systems, including the ability to create a team, along with the usual yearly updates like team staff, and they added in things like sprint races, I believe. This though is the Deluxe Edition, which I don't typically go for, but since the base game isn't on sale, I've been looking for an excuse to pick it up, and at 30% off, a new low price, I think it does work for me. The Deluxe version then also adds in additional race strategies and cosmetics. Next then, another one I haven't played is One Piece Odyssey Deluxe Edition. There's no standard edition, this is the only release, but I've heard good things about it. Now, it's an RPG based on the hugely popular One Piece manga and anime, celebrating the series' 25th anniversary. Now, the story follows the Straw Hat Pirates as they get shipwrecked on a tropical island, separated from one another. Now, you'll be playing as various cast members as they try to reunite. You'll be battling enemies though and just trying to escape the island as well. Now, I want to play it, but I haven't picked it up, and the reason, I've just started watching One Piece. I'm on episode 50 right now. While I don't believe this game is canon, I'm being careful about potential spoilers. So if you've watched the anime and you've played this, I'd love to know your thoughts. Let me know if it's safe to dive in without spoilers of anything major. On that note, however, I'm launching a channel called Nakama Notes, where I'm reviewing every single episode of One Piece. The first video is actually already scheduled. It goes live on October 13th, and I've actually already recorded 25 videos. It's a fun project. It's one for me, but if you want to join me on the journey, I'll link the channel below. I'll also be talking about and reviewing other anime on there, but initially that will be between seasons and arcs, just so we can kind of get a nice little flow going on that channel. Thunder Ray is now 60% off, a new low price. It's a love letter to Super Punch-Out. I was personally impressed with this one. While it's not the longest game, sometimes you just need an arcade experience, and this is one I've come back to a few times now. Actually, I even grabbed the DLC as well, but in this retro arcade boxing game with a modern twist, you'll step into the ring and face off against a roster of eccentric opponents. The HD animations are incredible in this game. It brings each character to life with just detail and fluid movements. And yeah, look, if you're craving some quick, action-packed entertainment, I do think this one is going to be a great pick. Cannibal Abduction is now 35% off, a new low price. This one comes from the masters over at Puppet Combo, and with Halloween fast approaching, there is no better time for a horror game. Now, I've reviewed it on the channel, link below, but in the coming weeks, I'm going to be dropping a video breaking down all of Puppet Combo's games, so keep an eye out for that. This one though, it's an old school adventure puzzle experience where you explore a creepy house, kind of static cameras, and you're trying to escape a cannibalistic family. The PlayStation era vibes here is really just something I adore, so I was immediately brought in, and if you do like it, I think it's well worth a look. The story though follows Henry, whose weekend getaway takes a horrifying turn when his car breaks down and is lured into the home of a cannibalistic family. It's kind of intense at times. There's a killer and a creepy grandma that you definitely don't want to mess with. And yeah, as a game, I'd say you're going to probably wrap it up in a few hours, but what I really like with this one is, as a bonus, it actually also includes another game, The Night of the Scissors, and in that one you break into a post office, but of course, everything, and I mean everything there, goes wrong. Iron Meat is now 10% off as a launch discount, so I'll keep this quick. I love the game though, wanted to give it a shout out today. If you are a fan of Contra, you need to play this. I'll be linking my video review below, but it's a fast-paced run and gun shooter set in a world overrun by an interdimensional biomass known as the Meat. It's classic arcade action. You'll be battling mutated victims and machines, dodging bullets, and taking on brutal bosses across 9 levels. Definitely not an easy game, but well worth the time. Hogwarts Legacy then is 70% off, a new low price. This game has been dropping in price constantly, but honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's the experience Potter fans have always wanted, letting you loose in Hogwarts and the surrounding locations. While the Switch version has seen some downgrades, I'm impressed with how well it runs. You know, it's an open world action RPG, it's a sizable location, and still, I think it's more than playable. Expect though to explore the magical world, and yeah, you'll be customizing your character, mastering spells, and upgrading your talents to become the wizard you want to be. Then, maybe the most unique thing about it, in my opinion, is it's set in the 1800s. So yeah, a really interesting period, and basically come here to make allies, battle dark wizards, and ultimately decide the fate of the wizarding world. Our first winner of the week then is J Dizzle, who highlighted The Pale Beyond, and yeah, that's a lesser known one, but if you like survival games, it is well worth the time. Congrats on the win, Jay. Drop me an email for the code, and everyone else, second winners coming up here just in a few moments. Dragon Quest Monsters, the Dark Prince, is now 33% off, matching its lowest price. Now at launch, this game had its issues, and honestly, the performance can still be rough. However, I adored the game. It was a surprise hit for me at the end of last year when it actually initially released. Now in this adventure, we play as a character cursed and unable to harm anything with monster blood. So now we must become a monster wrangler to build an army for battle, explore different seasons, a decent selection of locations, and yeah, basically along the way, we're going to get all sorts of skills. Like we meet another character, an elf, who can create stronger monsters using synthesis. This basically becomes the big key to this adventure. It's the way to create super strong offspring between two different monsters, and that's how we can become master of the monsters. Multi-Blood type Lumina is now 60% off, a new low price. I'm a big fan of this game, and for those who may not know, it's actually a spin-off from a visual romance novel. What we get here, however, is a fighter with an in-depth story mode that is essentially a visual novel. Now, I didn't need the latter. I was here for the fighting, but in that regards, it just delivers. Game looks great, runs well, it's packed with content. Expect aerial combos, shields, magic circuits, and more. Also, there's a really in-depth moon skill system. Controls though are great. The online battles use rollback netcode, though I'm not sure how busy those servers are right now. There's a gallery feature, and then there's tons of customization. Honestly, genre fans, it's well worth considering this one, and I'll actually link to my best fighters on the Switch video where I did feature it. Find that down below. Our second winner then is Jeremy, who highlighted Beyond Good and Evil, a great game to revisit. I do wonder if we will ever get the sequel though in the future. Congrats anyway, Jeremy. Email me for the code, and everyone else, drop a comment below for your chance in next Saturday's video. Alright, so our last game this week, Undertale, it's now 34% off. Now that's not a new low price. We've actually seen it cheaper a couple of years back by $1 or £1 or so, but this game rarely goes on sale, so when it does, we have to talk about it. The game is just a masterpiece, basically. But yeah, it's a classic indie RPG, and you'll fall into the underworld and explore a hilarious world just full of dangerous monsters. Whether you date a skeleton, dance with a robot, cook with a fish woman, or decide to just destroy everything in your path, the future is yours to determine. It's a truly unique experience. It's both charming and actually, honestly, quite emotional. I'm going to leave my description there, however. That's basically just the description from the eShop, but the reason for that is the less you know with this one going in, the more fun you're going to have. And that is the video down. What will you be adding to the library this week? Let me know in the comments. Also, if I missed any big deals, feel free to drop those below as well. Also, don't forget, my last 2 deals videos, they featured some heavy hitters that are still live right now. So maybe check those videos out next. I'll link them in the comments down below. With that then, a shout out to the patrons and the channel members who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, news and lists daily, and I'll see you all in the next video. Cheers all.